Some people love your kindness. Others smell it like blood in the water. Stop scrolling and answer something honestly. How many times have you been betrayed by someone you helped? How many times has your kindness been used as the very weapon that hurt you? How many times have you played fair, followed the rules, supported others, and then watched someone less moral, less capable, less deserving, climb over your back to reach heights you never got credit for? If you're honest with yourself, the bitterness of those memories is still sitting in your gut. But instead of blaming the people who took advantage of you, instead of seeing the truth about the dynamics at play, you probably blamed yourself. You told yourself you weren't kind enough, not understanding enough, not useful enough. The reality is much simpler and much more brutal. Your kindness was never the solution. It was the bait. The world is not a moral playground. It is a predator-prey ecosystem. And your unconditional goodness is a neon sign flashing "easy target." Every favor you give without boundaries is a signal. Every time you swallow your discomfort, every time you say yes when everything inside you screams no, you're broadcasting one message: I don't bite. Predators notice. Exploiters notice. Users notice. And they won't thank you for it. They'll feed on it. Humans are not civilized creatures in suits and social niceties. Humans are animals wearing costumes. The oldest parts of our brain, the parts that care about dominance, status, and resource extraction, still run the show. And here's what those instincts look for: obedient people, predictable people, people who never push back, people who would rather self-harm than disappoint someone else. You think you're being kind, but they see weakness, and weakness invites exploitation. You've seen this pattern before. The person who apologizes even when they did nothing wrong. The person who always picks up the slack in a group. The coworker who stays late to fix other people's mistakes. The friend who listens to everyone's problems, but never has the space to talk about their own. These people, maybe including you, become a solved equation. A tool that anyone can grab and use because they know exactly how you'll respond. No risk, all reward. Every time you give without boundaries, you're not being generous, you're being conditioned. Trained to put yourself last. Trained to minimize your own needs. Trained to tolerate discomfort while making everyone else comfortable. Trained to believe that love and acceptance must be earned through service and sacrifice. The kindest person in any group is often the most exploited. Not because kindness is bad, but because unprotected kindness is indistinguishable from weakness. And people take advantage of weakness. Here's where this gets even darker. You believe that if you keep giving, people will appreciate you more. You believe that loyalty is built through sacrifice, through showing up, through supporting others. But the human brain doesn't work that way. Gratitude is a depreciating asset. The first time you do a favor for someone, they are grateful. The second time, they expect it. The third time, they feel entitled to it. And the moment you finally draw a line, suddenly you are the villain. Suddenly you're selfish. You've changed. You're not who they thought you were. No, you stopped being who they trained you to be. You didn't change. You woke up. That shift from doormat to human being is perceived as a personal attack by the people who benefited from your silence and compliance. Think about the most intense resentments in your life. They likely came from people you helped the most. Because once someone gets used to your kindness, they see it as the baseline. And if you ever raise your own value, they feel like you're taking something from them. That's why the people you barely know often treat you better than the ones who should be grateful. They see you as a peer. The ones you've overgiven to see you as property. Let me ask you something unsettling. Who in your life would be furious if you finally started prioritizing yourself? There's your parasite. They don't respect you for your kindness, they depend on it. And if you remove that resource, they attack you the same way an addict attacks the person who cuts off the supply. People don't get angry when you stop giving. They get angry when you stop letting them take. So where does that leave you? You believe kindness is your strength, but if you look at results, the actual outcomes, has it made you stronger? Has it built you power? Has it given you a life where your needs matter? Or has it drained you, left you undervalued, left you invisible? The truth is, kindness without boundaries broadcasts low status. Humans, like all primates, operate within dominance hierarchies. People instinctively sort each other by value. Who gets listened to? Who gets ignored? Who gets respected? Who gets walked over? And here's the signal of low status. I'm always available. High-value individuals, leaders, decision-makers, people others respect, are selective. They know their time and energy have value. They don't give it away easily. They say no, often and confidently. When you say yes to everything, especially when it costs you, you communicate that your time is cheap. Your priorities are replaceable. Your needs don't matter. You don't get respected for that. You get used for that. This is why nice people rarely rise to the top. The world doesn't reward kindness. It rewards scarcity, strength, and boundaries. Let's take off the mask for a moment. The people with real power, CEOs, world leaders, those who shape culture, are not the softest, kindest hearts in the room. They are the ones who mastered controlled perception. They know when to show virtue. They know when to hide their teeth. They know when to help publicly to gain influence. And they know when to deny assistance to protect their mission. They are not evil. They are strategic. Meanwhile, you've been taught to give endlessly without expecting anything in return, and celebrate being depleted as if sacrifice is sainthood. That belief system serves everyone except you. Because every resource you give away, your time, your focus, your money, your energy, is gone forever. You can't scale your life when someone else is always withdrawing from your account. Every yes comes with a hidden cost. Every sacrifice is a subtraction from your future. Every minute spent solving someone else's chaos is a minute stolen from your own evolution. Unlimited generosity guarantees limited progress. You can help others. You can care deeply. But you must learn to protect the source, you. Here's where everything shifts. Your kindness is not the problem. Your kindness needs a weapon upgrade. You must become strategically generous. You must create conditions. If someone wants your help, they should also want your success. If someone wants your time, they should respect it. If someone wants access, they should earn it. The moment you stop being freely available, your value increases. Scarcity creates demand. Boundaries create respect. Self-respect creates power. People value what they can lose. Make your presence something that must be protected, respected, and reciprocated. And when someone shows you, not says, but shows, that they only like you when you're useful, cut them off. No warning, no speech, no grand announcement. Just remove the access they took for granted. Let them experience the consequences of living without the resources you once provided. That is not revenge. That is balance. That is training. That is self-defense. You do not owe everyone unlimited access to your life. Now you might ask, doesn't removing goodness make me cold? Doesn't being selective make me manipulative? Let's be blunt. Manipulation is already happening. People manipulate you every time they guilt you, every time they fake helplessness, every time they use your empathy as leverage. The only difference is they're winning and you're not. You're already in the game. You've just been playing with your hands tied behind your back. This isn't about harming others. This is about stopping the harm being done to you. This is about shifting from survival mode to progress mode, from being drained to building strength, from being a tool in someone else's story to being the author of your own. You cannot protect others if you cannot protect yourself. You cannot uplift others if you never rise. You cannot change the world if the world is constantly taking pieces of you. Real kindness, the kind that changes lives, comes from a position of power, not depletion. First you get strong, then you get generous. First you build stability, then you support others. First you create freedom, then you share it, not the other way around. History does not remember people who were always nice. It remembers the ones who gained enough power to do something with their goodness. Power built schools. Power fed nations. Power protected the vulnerable. Good intentions without power are just a comforting story. Power without kindness is a threat. Kindness without power is a victim. Power with kindness is a legacy. So here is your crossroads. You can continue pretending the world plays by the rules you were taught as a child, that kindness is always returned, that patience is always respected, that sacrifice is always recognized. Or you can finally acknowledge the game you're actually in, where predators hunt passivity, where value is determined by boundaries, and where the people who rise are the people who protect their resources. The wolves already know the truth. The only question left is, what role do you want to play? Do you want to be the sheep, naive, exposed, and devoured? Do you want to be the wolf, ruthless, feared, and alone? Or do you want to be the shepherd, strategic, powerful, and in control? Your goodness is valuable, too valuable to give away freely. Your empathy is powerful, too powerful to hand to those who will misuse it. Your loyalty is sacred, too sacred to waste on opportunists. Stop apologizing for having a backbone. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop letting people extract your worth while calling you selfless. You are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to value your own life as much as you valued everyone else's. The wolves are always hunting. Stop living like prey. Become the shepherd, or accept being the meal. The choice has always been yours. Now, you can never again pretend you didn't know. If you're done being prey, type shepherd in the comments and share this with the people who have spent too long feeding the wolves.